Hello everyone, this is teacher Suzie and welcome to my class. In this video, we are going to discuss about quadratic inequality. Ano ang pinagkaiba ng quadratic inequality sa quadratic equation? So we have discussed before that a quadratic equation in one variable is an equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Where a, b, and c are real numbers, and a should not be equal to 0. So, this quadratic equation is quadratic because of the degree 2. So, its degree is 2 or yung pinaka mataas na power na makikita natin sa variable x is 2. Now, let's talk about quadratic inequality. Quadratic inequality is just the same. The only difference with quadratic equation is the symbol used. So in quadratic inequality, instead of using an equal sign, we will be using the inequality symbols. So this can be greater than or less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So again, this is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and instead of using the equal sign, we will be using any of these symbols. Let's say is greater than 0. So yun lang ang kanilang pinagkaiba. So this is a quadratic inequality in one variable because the variable that we can see ay x lang. So a, b, and c here are any numbers that can be found on a number line. So this is a quadratic inequality. So this is inequality because of the inequality symbol used. This is quadratic because the degree is 2. So let us have an example. Let's say we have x squared minus 3x is greater than 8. So this is an example of a quadratic inequality because the symbol used is an inequality symbol which is greater than, and the degree is 2. That is why this is quadratic. And this is quadratic inequality in one variable because the variable that you can see is x. Okay? Now, let's have y is less than x squared minus 3x minus 10. So this is also quadratic because the degree is 2. This is inequality because the symbol used is less than or the inequality symbol. And this is in two variables because the variables present are x and y. Alright? So I hope na malinaw na po sa atin ang definition ng quadratic inequality, paano natin ma-identify ang quadratic inequality at quadratic equation. Okay? So another example, when we have y is greater than 2x plus 3. So this is not a quadratic inequality, though this is inequality because of the inequality symbol, but the degree is not 2. So this is not quadratic inequality, but instead a linear inequality into variables. So now, how are we going to simplify quadratic inequality? So merong mga mathematical statements na kinakailangan muna nating i-simplify bago natin malaman kung sila ba ay quadratic inequality or not. So let us have number 1. So when we have the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x minus 3 is less than negative 3. So medyo natin, ilapit yung 3. Okay. So sa unang tingin, you might think that this is not quadratic. Yes, this is inequality because of this inequality symbol. And some may think that this is not quadratic because wala tayong nakikitang degree of 2. But we can simplify this inequality, okay, for us to be able to know kung quadratic inequality ba siya or not. So let us get the product of these two binomials. Let us distribute x first. So x times x is x squared. Next, x times negative 3 is negative 3x. Next, distribute 1. 1 times x is x. And 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. Then copy less than negative 3. Alright, ilipat naman natin itong negative 3 on the other side of the equal sign. So this will become x squared minus 3x. Just copy this. Plus x minus 3. Lipat si negative 3. That will become plus 3 is less than 0. So, this negative 3, pag nilipat natin on the other side, will change its sign. So, we will treat this the same with an equal sign. So, parang tumawid ka rin ng equal sign. So, every time tatawid tayo ng inequality symbol, yung mga numbers na tinatawid natin will also change their signs. So, combine like terms, we can combine negative 3x and x and negative 3 plus 3. So, just copy x squared, wala siyang ka-like term. The negative 3x plus x, that is negative 2x. And negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So, hindi na natin isusulat. And then, we will copy less than 0. So, isulat natin ng maayos. So, we have x squared minus 2x is less than 0. So, this is inequality because of the inequality symbol used, which is less than. This is quadratic because of the degree 2. So, we can say that this is a quadratic inequality. And since meron lang tayong nakikitang isang variable which is x, so this is a quadratic inequality in one variable. Okay, so I hope naintindihan natin. Let's have another one. Another example. When we have x times the quantity of x minus 8 is greater than or equal to x squared plus 1. So, meron tayong nakikita ditong exponent na 2. But this inequality can still be simplified para malaman natin kung quadratic inequality ba ito or not. Alright? So, let us combine like terms. So, ilipat natin lahat ng terms na nandito sa side to the other side. So, tatawid sila ng inequality symbol. Okay? So, or pwede na rin natin tong i-distribute. Pero, since nauna kong sinabing ilipat natin itong mga terms na ito, so let's do that. We have now x times the quantity of x minus 8. Copy muna natin. Then, x squared will become negative x squared. 1 will become negative 1. And then, copy greater than or equal to. Walang natira. So, we're gonna put 0. Now, distribute natin si x. So, x times x is x squared. X times negative 8 is negative 8x. And then, copy negative x squared minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. In the first place, pwede na natin to kaninang i-distribute. So, whichever you'd like, as long as you follow the steps or the properties of equality, still, we will get the same answer. Combine like terms, similar terms ng x squared and negative x squared. So, x squared minus x squared is 0. So, wala na po yan. Then, negative 8x, we will just copy it the same with negative 1. And then, is greater than or equal to 0. So, this is an inequality because it has an inequality symbol. But since it doesn't have a quadratic term, yung degree na nakikita natin is hindi 2. It is just 1. So, we cannot say that this is a quadratic inequality. So, hindi po ito quadratic inequality. But instead, this is a linear inequality. Alright? So, I hope that you understand it. Now, so we can determine if there is a given point or the given point is part of the solution of a quadratic inequality. So, pag sinabi nating inequality kasi, hindi lang isa ang solution niya. Unlike sa quadratic equation, it has one solution or two solutions, right? Ang pinakamataas na number ng solutions niya is 2. But in quadratic inequality, we can have more than two solutions and we can actually have infinite number of solutions. So ngayon, aalamin natin if the given point is part of the solution or can be a solution of a given quadratic inequality. Example. So, in quadratic inequality, x squared minus 9x is less than 0. So, we will identify if x equals 8 is part of its solutions. Pwede kayang maging 8 ang value ng x. So, it means, pag sinubstitute ba natin ang 8 sa x, will it satisfy this inequality? So, let's try to test. So, first, substitute 8 to x. So, this will become 8 squared minus 9 times 8. Is it less than 0? 8 squared, that is 64. Negative 9 times 8 is negative 72. Is it less than 0? So, 64 minus 72, that is equal to negative 8. Then, copy less than 0. Now, let's check. Is negative 8 less than 0? Mas mababa ba si negative 8 kesa kay 0? Yes, that is correct. That is true. So, therefore, we can say that x equals 8 is a part of the solution set of the given quadratic inequality x squared minus 9x is less than 0. Alright? So let us have another example. So this is a quadratic inequality in one variable. Let's have a quadratic inequality in two variables. Let's say our quadratic inequality in two variables is y is less than x squared plus 2x plus 1. And we'd like to know if 0, 1 is part of its solution. Again, in this ordered pair, 0 is the x coordinate and 1 is the y coordinate. So these are the values of x and y. Let us substitute this to our inequality. So we're going to have y is 1. So isusulat natin ang 1 is less than x, our x is 0. 0 squared plus 2 times, again, x is 0. Copy plus 1. Solve. 1. Is it less than? This is 0 already. And then plus 2 times 0, this is 0 also. So what's left is positive 1. Now let us check. Is 1 less than 1? Ang 1 ba ay mas mababa sa 1? Actually, this is not true. Okay, hindi ito totoo because these two are equal. Alright, so it means to say that 0, 1 is not part of the solution sets. Alright, so that will be all for today. On the next video, we are going to discuss how to get the solution of a quadratic inequality. So thank you for watching. See you again. Bye.